E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories, broadcasting and live streaming to millions of devices around the world, including Roku, and live streaming to Facebook Live. Also on Amazon Fire TV and to Twitch. Also Android TV and Periscope. Broadcasting to Apple TV and YouTube Live. Proudly brought to you by our host, Donna producer and host, Michaela Vidal, host and administrator, and Jim Grant, producer and host. Proudly brought to you by the 6minutewebinar.com.
Welcome to the Messages of Inspirational Stories. Jim, we are almost at the end of our week.
I know it. And tomorrow we're going to have Mr. Bill Heinrich with us.
That's exciting.
And yes, holy enchiladas Batman, as we used to say back when I was young and good looking. You know, that's one of them expressions when you didn't know what else to say that you could say and not get in trouble. And when I say not get in trouble, I'm talking about some thumb therapy, because we grew up at a time when thumb therapy was, a
common
way
practice.
Yeah. In other words, they explained it to me on my terms.
Right. So, you know, we've been talking about the 7 levels of truth, right? And this is Bill, and Bill will be with us tomorrow. If I can get my screen, it's not the screen. It's me.
I hear you.
So we are really excited because, we have been talking about, finding your natural gifts. And we've covered a lot of things this week. And today we are covering divine truth and divine power. And those are huge. And, it's going to be fun tomorrow when Bill joins us and we can, wrap up, and everybody, including us, can hear him as he speaks about this and speaks into it. And, before we start, I just would like to read this because this is so Bill. And this is what I want everyone to really understand with Bill. When I got this book from him, he wrote in here, Donna, quiet your mind, open your heart, and listen to your soul. Now, if that's not powerful, I don't know what is.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm reading his writing here in mine. You might be able to see the writing there. Says, Jim, thank you for assisting us, the fulfillment of my destiny. And he's really a great guy because, the one thing that Bill likes to point out, we all have a little bit of the 7 divine gifts. Everybody has got it to some degree. Now, we all have them, but some have more than others. And we're talking about compassion and creation and order, healing and self-expression, divine truth and divine power. And this is the way Bill classifies it from his 25 years of studies. Is our largest gift is about 40%. Think about, what is your 40%? Is it compassion? Is it the ability to be creative? Get things in order? Are you a very orderly person?
Right.
How about healing? Oh my goodness. I don't think we talked enough about that, because healing starts with leaders leading the example of not being victims in life.
Well, that is a huge one, because we have a tendency to put ourselves in a victim category.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. And all that does is, of course, block our energy, and it blocks your divine gifts. Mm-hmm. And I've had people ask me, Donna, how is it that you deal with, the MS and how that can be? And I said, well, pretty much I look at it two ways. First of all, and I've said this, I have arthritis. I've had it since I was 9, so I'm riddled. I look at it like this. I have it because somebody else may be not strong enough to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's number one. Number two is I do not let it live me. I live it.
Mm-hmm.
I live it. And that's not to say that neither one of them don't surface every day of my life and say, hey, Donna, how you doing? We're here.
Yeah.
Because they do. They do. And, and I'm like, okay, I hear you. Thank you very much. Now you can just go on your merry old way and let me have my life today. And I just don't give into it, I guess is the best way I can describe it. I will not be a victim to it. I will not be a victim to it. Do I know it's there? Absolutely. Do I know that, I have that? Absolutely. But how we deal with it is in our healing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because if I fell victim to it, geez, how much would I be able to heal? How much would I be able to do?
Oh,
I have a lot less than I do.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's kind of like I have coronary artery disease, but it does not have me.
Right.
And thank goodness there is ways to be able to, take charge of your physical ailments and stuff like that. And our good friend, Dr. George Grant, we are brothers by different mothers, you see. That's a good way of putting it, because a lot of people think we're, brothers, but we're not. And that's because they could easily see that, because he's much better looking than I am. And he's a lot more smarter than I am. And I think he said that I wound up with the, let me think here, the dynamic personality. That's what he said. But Dr. George Grant, here it is, academyofwellness.com. You can go there and you can take the wellness test. It's 10 questions because it's all about diet. He has nothing to sell as far as food or anything like that, but he can educate you on what you should stop eating.
Right.
Because if you don't, it's eating you. I mean, because give you an example, and I want to get off this and move on to something else more intelligently. But my blood pressure is good. My bad cholesterol was 76. So if my bad cholesterol was that low, how could I build up cholesterol blockages in my heart?
Right.
Where does the cholesterol come from? It comes from the food. Okay, we know that. So anyway, go to that website there, academyofwellness.com, fill out the 10 little simple questions and evaluate, your wellness, and just go from there, and that's our one of our gifts to you. If you'd like to email Dr. Grant, it's just drgrantwellness@gmail.com. He's a great friend of ours, and he is dinner. And he said here on the other show the other day, he says, if anybody mentions they want to get scanned at AO Scanner, he's got something there that tells you about it. It's a great device in detecting. It's the only device that detected that I had a problem with my heart. All the other medical tests didn't show anything. Even the 67 tests they showed me in the hospital that they ran on me did not show that problem. But anyway, if you do that, the normal price is like $150 or something like that. Anyway, it's $99. So anyway, that's one of our gifts to you. But Donna, I got way off track here. I apologize to you, because we're talking about divine healing. And that starts right here in between your ears. That's a starting point of it. And your mind has got to be in perfect harmony with who the real you is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Right. And healing looks different for every single person.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Healing looks different for every person. We've all heard incredible stories about people who have overcome almost insurmountable issues in their life. and go on to do incredible things. Well, that's their divine healing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's their divine healing.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's why I mentioned, it doesn't define whatever is going on with you. That particular ailment is not a definition of who you are, right? That's not the essence of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But how you deal with your divine healing, boy, that defines who you are.
Yeah, because that is physical, and we're talking about your spiritual DNA.
Right.
We're talking about a much higher level. Because as we talked in, I believe it was yesterday's show, we talked about it, Donna. Some people talk about, your body and your soul. Well, that's backwards.
Right.
It's you are a soul inside of a physical body.
Right.
One of these days, this outer shell of the physical body is going to go away. For all of
It
us.
gives up.
But the real you're going to live forever somewhere, and that depends on your religious beliefs and so on and so forth. We don't want to get into that. But the fact of it is, you're not going to be, when you die, you're not going to be like a dead weed, dead all over, or like dead rover, dead all over. But remember now, 40% is what Bill says you have in your main gift.
Right.
And we talked about compassion a little bit. We talked about compassion in a previous show quite a bit. Creation, order, healing, authentic self-expression. And the other two is truth and power. So 40% of one of those divine gifts is your primary gift.
Right.
Now, the other percentages, the second one is about 25%. The third is about 15%. The remainder of the four divine gifts make up the remaining percentages in various proportions, because that just shows how unique we are, how different we are, and all that. The question is, when we talk about compassion, creation, order, healing, self-expression, truth, and power, which one is your divine gift that you say, hey, that one there is more like me than all the rest? That's your 40%er. That's where you start at, because that is why you were given that gift, to use that gift and all of your gifts to be a blessing to others.
Right. That's your strong suit.
Yes, ma'am.
That's your strong suit.
Yeah.
What he talks about in divine truth, I'll just read this real quick. It starts with positive. This is an energy of one who takes a stand for each person's truth. Your innate intention is to help understand and live their divine truth. Negative. You could tend to be very black and white in your opinions and express them in an abrasive manner. Or you may respond by sitting silently, knowing that if you started to speak, you would be more aggressive or outspoken than is appropriate at the time.
As my mother used to say, the good book says that if I get a foolish person, I'll say that, keeps their mouth shut, they're thought to be wise. But when they open their mouth, they prove otherwise.
Well, and for me, it's more of, what am I learning from this situation?
Oh, goodness, yes.
What am I learning from this situation? Because, we have two ears and one mouth. But sometimes the one mouth overrides two ears.
2 ears, 2 eyes, and all of the above intelligence, you name it, intelligence goes out the window,
Right?
Yeah.
So, sometimes we talk more than we listen, right?
We should.
Right? And in that is, where is the truth for each one of us? Right? I've found that if I listen more, then I can be more true to myself and true to what the conversation is about. Right? Coming from a heart-centered place, not from here, not from my head, but from my heart. And that I have the capability then to really pour into that conversation.
I got to share something with you a little bit about Bill Heinrich. Early on when I was first talking to Bill, Bill was telling me, he says, Jim, because he could read me like a book. He says, Jim, your biggest problem is you think too much. Thinking's not good for you. Now that can be insulting to you, can it? I mean, that can, I should resemble that remark. That can rub some people's little feathers the wrong way and make them get upset, because I knew he was coming from a position of love, and I knew he was going to a higher plane with this. So therefore, I listened to him. He says, Jim, the reason why thinking is bad for you is because your mind can only run the road, look in the little rearview mirror of life, bringing up the past, look through the big windshield. Mm-hmm. And, I tell the story sometimes about how I was under pressure on a situation one time. I walked outside and I heard the birds singing, and I'm just, it's early in the morning and I've got my cup of coffee. This is tea today, but I had my cup of coffee with me and I'm drinking my coffee and enjoying myself, with my problem. And all of a sudden, a clear thought came to my mind. You hear the birds singing. And I stopped and listened. At that time, I forgot to mention, we were in the middle of a drought for about 2 years here in Texas. And the next thought, as I listened to the beautiful morning birds and their songs, even they will sing in the middle of a drought. Mm-hmm. And that just really made an impression on me. You've heard me talk about it several times, but that got branded in my brain. It really did. And you ladies, when you walk outside, you hear the birds singing. I can tell you right now, that's the good Lord's way, or the Creator's way of saying, look at my beautiful daughter whom I love. And if you don't believe that, how many times you've known guys get all ammoed up, and they go out in the boonies to go hunting, and they trek over hill, over dale, and they're all over the place. They come back, they're cold, they're tired, they're wet, they're hungry, and we went out there and we didn't hear or see anything. And that's the Creator's way of saying, well, Bubba, you and your buddy Einstein, neither one of you are one of my beautiful daughters, so hush. I tell you, but there's a lot of truth in that, because I think the morning birds are there to sing a song and to help brighten our morning, help brighten our day. And that's what we should carry on in our life. Donna, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Have you ever wondered, as you think back about, of course, you're much younger than I am, but you look back in the rearview mirror of life of people that you met and you wonder, why did I meet those people?
Oh, I love that.
Because there's people that I met back when I was young and good looking. And I was young once. I'm not making this up. Quit laughing at me over there. Be quiet. but sincerely, I wished I could meet them now. Knowing now what I did not know way back then. Right. Because I could appreciate them more as a person, love them more as a person, and let them know that they meant something to me. But right. I've wondered about that. Think about some of the people that you've known about. When you folks out there will do the same thing. And boy, Donna,
I am a strong believer that there are no accidents or coincidences. We meet people when we meet them. They come into our life for a season of time. That we learn something from them, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, yeah. They've helped us in that time that we needed help. But no matter what it is, that they've been there for that reason. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're meant to stay forever, and sometimes they're not. Mm-hmm. And that, in my opinion, is been the hard one in learning to let go.
Oh, yeah.
Learning to let go, because, sometimes we're not destined to be friends or be partners or whatever with that person for a long period of time. But there is a reason and a season. Mm. There is a reason and a season that we meet people when we do.
It's really amazing how it is. And, I'll share something else with you in my life, if I may, without being too boring. When I was in the military, we'd go out and give blood every other month. And I gave over 3 gallons of blood to the American Red Cross. And us, I mean, the ladies that worked with the Red Cross that drew the blood, they knew us. We knew them. It was kind of like a family reunion every two months. And we go in there. One of my buddies, Lonnie McMillan. Lonnie's no longer with us, bless his heart, but he was a great guy. But Lonnie did not like needles. He didn't like to be poked or anything. He loved giving blood, but needles was just something necessary evil.
Right.
And so he's laying there on the gurney, and me and a bunch of other guys were waiting our turn. And I popped off and I says, it would take a real nurse to hurt him, is what Lonnie said today. And he says, shut up. And then one of my other buddies says, that ain't what he said. He didn't know. He says, a real nurse would take it out of his jugular vein. And the lady immediately took a swabbed the side of his neck, and he sat straight up like a ghost. My point being, in giving all that blood over the years, that was our world, the way it turned. We didn't think anything about it.
Right.
But in 2008, I had a peptic ulcer that exploded in my stomach. It's called H. pylori. That's the little bacteria that creates that ulcer. And it landed me in the hospital, and they had to use 2 shots of protonics to be able to seal it after they went, did the light scope and all that, and went down and went up and all those good things they do to find out what's going on. But it took me 5 units of blood to get me back up to where I should be. My point being is I was laying there receiving that life-saving blood that someone else gave.
Right.
Seeing that red line run across your chest and into your arm like I did, and have the IV in the other arm. That's a humbling experience. And I wondered about the person who gave that beautiful gift of giving blood. And if you don't give blood, if you're able to give blood, let me encourage you to do that. Because the person down the road that will receive that beautiful gift from you, both of you will be blessed. I just simply said, I don't know who donated this blood, but I thank them. And I asked them for them and their family to be blessed in all areas of their life. Because that was important. Because the only thing on the bag is a number, and a registration number. But like I say, giving the blood was one thing, but being in an hour of need of needing it, that is very, very humbling. It really is.
It truly is.
I wanted to share that with you because if you're out there and you're wanting to find a way to give back, and maybe you don't have a lot of money, so what? On every one of your reasons that come up, so what? That's what Emerson told us about marketing. When you mention something, about your product, so what? What does that mean to the customer? But therefore, how about being able to get a blood drive going and being able to raise, get people to donate blood for a worthy cause? Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, oh my goodness, excuse me.
That's quite all right. I'm glad you're feeling better because bless her heart, she's had COVID and getting over it. And the main thing that we do here on our show too, every now and then we'll go off, or I'll go off, I should say, and say some things and talk about some things because Donna and I, we firmly believe this. We firmly believe that sometimes the energy will bring a thought to our mind because it's not what we want to say. It's what does the audience out there, maybe just one person out there, regardless of where you're at, whether you watch us on Roku, Amazon Fire, who cares? But there might be one person out there that needs to hear that. So that's why we share things. That's why we just freelance things and go, because the higher source that we all get our energy from and our intelligence from, it really knows how we should best use our gifts and our talents. And I'd like to encourage you to explore that same possibility. Ask yourself, how can I be a blessing to others?
Right. Absolutely.
I've seen you demonstrate that in your life more times than not, Donna.
Well, I think that goes both ways, Jim. Both ways,
Well,
you
thank you.
know? And, the beautiful thing, like with Jim and I, yes, we are partners on our TV show, but
Mhm.
we go way above partners. We are
Oh, yeah.
truly best friends,
Yeah,
right?
we're
We are
family.
best friends. Yeah, we are. We are
She
family.
adopted me.
I did. I adopted him as my
Mhm.
younger brother.
Mhm. Okay. I like that. Now, don't tell her any difference. Me being 73, that's our secret, okay? Don't be a blabbermouth and let the cat out of the bag.
Exactly.
I tell you, yeah.
Exactly.
They say growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. And they asked me, if I knew what optional was. I said, well, the only thing I know about it being optional, intelligence, and whatever in the heck that is. I mean,
That's an option. That's an
yeah,
option.
yeah. I didn't
But
have room for that in my gift bag.
nice, nice, Jim.
Yeah.
It was full of confetti anyway.
Yeah, I mean, to tell you. Let's
Oh my
talk a little bit
goodness.
more about, you want to talk about some divine self-expression or divine truth. I mean, I'm going to let you start out of the
Well,
gate there, wherever you want to.
divine power.
Ooh.
Divine
See,
power.
that's that higher source that's above me talking to her.
So of course there's the positive and the negative.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that is huge. The positive, this is an energy that
Yes.
shows other people how powerful we are using our free will and choice.
Mm.
You probably have an instinctive sense of energy.
Mm.
You are excellent at manifesting because you know it is as simple as making a choice.
Mm.
You're probably very intuitive and you might even be psychic. The negative, you suffer from the bright, shiny objects syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
There are just too many choices to decide because you don't want to lose out by making the wrong choice. You would tend to stay busy doing different things, but it ends up being the same old thing and nothing gets accomplished. You could also manage to take on too many responsibilities because you have a desperate need to be productive.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
Some of
wow.
those things used to hit me right in the face like a cold bucket of water on a January morning,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of those things was the way that I lived my life 24/7. And that is why Donna and I encourage you to do two things. We encourage you to get in touch with Mr. Bill Heinrich.
Absolutely.
Get in touch at his website there at truelifepurposenow.com. Bill will give you a free 30-minute complimentary, I keep saying free, but it's complimentary, uh, session with him. And he will find out by asking questions of you will find out a lot about yourself, where your shortcomings are and your faults are. And also, the lovely lady sitting over there who happens to be Mrs. Arizona for 2022. And we always
I'm going to get
have
rid of
fun
that
about
dang
that.
thing.
Yeah, I know it. But I mean, we have fun with that. But Donna's website is Donna Guinois, as you see there on the ticker tape. And if you want to get in touch with Donna, she too will give you a 30-minute complimentary consultation on what is blocking your energy. Between Bill and Donna, it's a 1-2 punch, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. And I tell you, you won't, it's impossible to walk away from those two people after they sit down and focus with you on what is robbing you of your energy and discovering what your gifts are and helping you get from where you are to where you want to be.
Right.
And the only person can do that is you.
Right. Well, and that's what Bill discusses, and I love about this is
Mm-hmm.
is we all have gifts,
Right, right.
right? How much of the gift have you honed in on? My husband and I were talking about this the other
Mm-hmm.
night. How do sometimes we innately know how to do something, We've never been taught,
Mm.
but you innately know how to do it and do it well.
Mm.
Okay? That is a divine gift, folks.
Mm.
That is a divine gift.
Mm-hmm.
You innately know. Is it
You know,
intuition or is it, where does that come from, right?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. And there was one time that when you were saying it reminded me of an area I was in. And instantly I knew that this was not a good place for me. And I hadn't met anybody. But I knew this was not a good place for me. It was not a safe place for me.
Right.
And I knew I'd never been there before. And that happened in the jungles of Vietnam, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
By myself, and I thought, and I just sensed danger. And I
Right.
knew if I didn't get out of there, I probably wouldn't be here,
Right.
So, but that's one of the gifts that comes your way.
Right.
And it's a gift that these gifts also have a way of showing up in your hour of need, don't they, Donna?
They do. Intuition, we've all talked about it, we've all heard about it. But
Mm-hmm.
intuition is one of our, part of our divine gift.
Yes.
And when we, like you just said, when you don't listen to it, it can land you in, a big pot of hot water, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. And I know in my life, the times I have gone against my intuition,
Mm-hmm.
well, that was the wrong way to go. Right.
Yeah.
But when I listen to it, and I have to do it, and I have to say this, for me, it has to be from a calm space.
Yes.
Right. It can't be from letting all kinds of stuff in my head that's not going there, because your intuition isn't really dealing with what's here. It's dealing with, is it the right choice? Is it the safe space?
Mm-hmm. It's really amazing is that ladies are more in tune to stuff like that than us guys are.
Right.
And I tell everybody, and I've said this many times here, maybe not many times, but I've said it before in the air. If it's a good deal today, it's a good deal tomorrow. And the
Right.
one thing that I hate, and maybe I shouldn't, but I'll be honest, I hate when I click on a website of something that I'm interested in. Automatically got the ticker 15 minutes, 14:53. I'm going like, come on. I'm going to stop by here to see if this is of interest to me. And then they want to put that power, when they'll put that pressure on you to buy.
Right.
And I remember one time I had some salesman, he was trying to pressure me into buying something. And I just looked at him and I said, well, sounds good, but I got a problem. Oh, what's that? I'm financially embarrassed. He didn't know how to handle it. Think about that, financially embarrassed. What does that mean? It means you're broke. And see, the thing of it is, he was trying to pressure me into giving him money, so I used money in return to, kind of like a big mirror, reflecting that negative energy back on him.
Right.
I just told him, I'm financially embarrassed. He kind of like, what does that mean? But, the important thing is that if it is a good deal today, it's a good deal tomorrow. Sleep on it in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a guy, please listen to the lady in your life, because she has a special. You girls are you just got it. I mean, you can because let's face it, guys. Let's be honest about us guys. There's been more gold mined inside of our heads that ever came out of a hole in the ground.
Oh my goodness!
And think about the poor ladies that have to put up with us. It's enough to drive them insane.
The beautiful thing about having intuition and with your business partner, your life partner,
right,
is learning to accept each other's gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And the strengths and where you're strong and they're not strong, and vice versa, and
right.
utilizing that to get where you
Mm-hmm.
want to be in life.
Oh, yeah.
right?
It complements it.
It does. It complements each other. And, Jim and I do that on a very regular basis. We talk. I mean, obviously, we do the show together, but
Mhm.
we talk probably 3, 4 times a week.
Right.
And sometimes it's not to be about business, and we're just calling to check on each other and say, hey, how you doing? Just was thinking about you. And then next thing you know, we're 40 minutes into a mini mastermind,
Mhm.
bouncing off of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe he sees something I can't see. And I'll be like, wow, I never looked at it that way, Jim. Holy cow, I can see where that would work. But see, that's where those divine gifts
Mhm.
come into play with each other. But you have to be open.
Yes, you really do. And when you talk about how long we talk, I mean, there's been many times we've been on the phone an hour and a half. The only reason why we quit, talking is because our batteries start to die.
Right? Right? Or dinner's ready.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because the energy that we have, our energy runs parallel together.
hmm
It's a perfect yin and yang, and
Right.
that's what makes it work. And that's the chemistry you see between us also here on the show because we complement each other. We know when to pause, and when she's tired of me, she'll tell me, Jim, shut up. Okay. But no, we have a sense of humor, but we complement each other not only here on the show but in life and all that.
hmm
And our spouses, Edgy and Evelyn, they know, that we're going to be visiting and talking, and they know we're going to be, just the energy is just stimulating between us when we
Right.
talk about what we can do as far as being a blessing to others, and the way this show has evolved.
Right.
Oh my gosh! I wish I could sit here and say, yes, we got up one
Take
Saturday
credit for it.
morning. Yeah, I mean, I tell
But we
people the
followed our
truth.
divine gifts.
Yes, yes.
Let's just be honest. We
Yeah.
followed our divine gifts.
And Don, as you know, we both fell into this TV show.
Yeah, we
We
did.
backed into it and fell into it.
Yes, we did.
I
Lock,
mean,
stock, and barrel.
yeah, yeah. I'm telling you true, folks. I mean, it came to us. This is your calling. And
hmm
and we're seeing blessings coming from all different areas, haven't we?
We have. And, that's one thing that we don't take lightly.
No, no, no.
We don't take, where we've been blessed in life
No.
lightly. And we don't take advantage of it either.
Yes, ma'am.
That is something that for us is completely against that divine energy. When you take
Hmm.
advantage of it or somebody,
Yeah.
that's when it backfires.
Hmm.
That's when it backfires on you
Hmm.
tenfold. And so,
Hmm.
our thought process and how we go forward is how can we be a blessing and how can we bless more?
Yes, yes. And ladies and gentlemen, you may wonder that if sometimes we run into folks who are just interested in buttering their own bread, that answer is yes. But we simply, recognize who they are, what they're for, and to us, it's what's called a one and done in the industry. Okay,
Right.
but you love them and let them go. Now, I say that to say this: if in your past you have been a person that's been interested in getting your own bread buttered rather than someone else, just stop, love yourself, forgive yourself, and then look how you could be a blessing to others by buttering their bread, and your bread will automatically get buttered. That's the best
Right.
advice I can give you from the bottom of my heart.
And be honest, now I'm kind of hungry.
Really?
Yeah. Talking
Well,
about bread and butter. Now I'm hungry.
well, I like bread and butter. I like toast and jam. I'm sure amazed. That's actually a song from the '60s by
I
the
remember that song.
Easy Beats. Easy Beats. That's the group. Yeah. You ever seen that guy? I mean, he's got this real high pitched voice. I mean, he was. I tell you, it was just. I know there's a name for it. I can't think of it, but I couldn't believe a guy could sing that high. A guy, but he
Right.
did. He called. I think it's Bread and Butter by the Easy Beats. It's on YouTube. So if you're curious about that, you can see. I'm not smart enough to make up stuff like that. So But it's funny talking about bread and butter. That song came to my mind. Amazing. It really is. And music is a great motivator too.
It is.
It really is because we're a vibration on the inside. Everything in the universe is a vibration. That's why some music, kind of rubs you the wrong way, and other music, hey, yeah, it makes you want to get up and, do the, get up and dance or whatever.
Do the
But
boogaloo.
oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so
just
I
yeah.
can't stand rap.
I can't either.
And I also don't like heavy metal, right?
Mhm.
My husband loves heavy metal, heavy rock. And I'm like, it doesn't do
Yeah.
anything for me.
Yeah, when I hear good, go ahead.
Well, it's just, it doesn't, it's funny because we've talked about that there are certain genres of music or the way somebody sings something that literally I can feel it resonating inside me.
Yeah.
Right? I can feel it calling me, if you will. It's resonating that high in that frequency. And, I look at everything we do in our life, folks, as that divine gift.
Oh, you better believe it.
Right?
I'm telling you.
There is a reason it's supposed to resonate in me.
Yes, ma'am.
Think about that. There is a reason for it.
I mean, back when I was young and good looking, we'd get up just to get down, I mean, but it kind of reminds me of that, some of the good music I loved and still love, kind of reminds me of that old Carole King song, I feel the earth move under my feet. I mean, we just get up and get with it. But my point being in sharing that with you, whether it's religious music, rock music, whatever kind of music it is that helps motivate you, get you focused. In other words, get your swagger going. Right. I'm not talking about your ego, just, this is who I am. This is my love, my abundance, and I'm supposed to take with me everywhere to share to others. And I'm not going to let the world, all in its physical problems and its mental incapacities to figure out anything, I'm not going to let that be a choke chain around my neck. And if you find some good music that helps get you motivated and get you going, that's kind of like that old Steppenwolf song, get your motor run and get out on the highway. Oh, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Where at now?
I want to read this little portion of Bill's book.
Okay.
This is really cool. And it says, not only do our divine gifts bring us joy and happiness, they come with more exciting secrets and mysteries that unfold as time passes.
Oh, who doesn't like exciting times and mysteries? Ooh.
Right? First, we need to know how to identify our divine gifts and then how to integrate our divine gifts in our daily lives.
Right.
So what is it that makes you, right? Which one of these is the most potent in your divine gift order? Oh,
yeah. I mean, my goodness gracious, those gifts are just amazing. And like Bill says, if one of us dominant is 40%, and I'm going to read the list again right quickly, 7 of them. It's compassion, creation, order, healing, self-expression, divine truth, and divine power. And let me just take these right through the top here again, if I may. Divine compassion. That's taking actions that support our fundamental needs. And not only our needs, but needs of others. Think about that. And divine creation, Bill describes it in one, I like these one-liners on here. It says, your daily actions demonstrate how to bring thought into physical form. That's important because you're going to get up and get going. Divine order. Mixing style and grace with structure and process. You bring balance, harmony, order, and peace to yourself and to others. Is that your 40%? Because we all have 40% of one of these here.
Right.
Divine healing that we talked about. Bringing energy to light that we are perfect. We are not damaged and never have been. See, that goes against everything physical right there,
Right.
because you can separate the two. You really can. In divine, authentic self-expression, creating a new perception for others using the written and spoken word. A lot of people have that ability to write and speak. Divine truth we're talking about today, you have a gift of seeing situations as they truly are. And number 7, divine power, the ability to manifest unlimited abundance through free will and choice. Oh my goodness. How many people struggle with trying to keep their will in check?
Mm-hmm.
And goodness, it's really amazing how in our life we can all reflect back to when we've done some things and we're glad no one else saw it. I can say that honestly, I mean,
Right.
yeah, ashamed of it, but this is where you love yourself enough to forgive yourself, do an about face, walk away from it, because
Right.
that's not who you are. You were created to be a winner.
Right.
Oh, love and abundance. Oh, goodness. Who can
And
have too
all
much
that
love and too
happens,
much abundance? Go ahead.
right. And all that happens when you don't forgive yourself is that you can't go forward with
Mhm.
what you really seek in life.
Yeah.
And that's
It,
where we get stuck.
mhm. It robs you like a bandit, doesn't it, Donna?
It does. It does. And it hits every cell of our body.
Mm,
Every single cell of our body.
it does. It hurts too.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
So, why would we keep pouring salt on our own wound?
yeah. And the type of riches that await for you, money can't buy.
Right?
It's too precious. Money cannot buy those precious gifts. That's how precious they are. Wow. That took me a while to get, just that idea there. That took me a little while to get my head around it, to wrap my mind around it and grasp it and grab a hold of it. But when you do, you're going to realize, my goodness gracious, like, let me put it in a simple physical way.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbeat in your veins. I kind of lean towards the heart since I, went through, I got some skin in that game, you might say. But have you ever seen a store that sells heartbeats?
Right? Or air.
Or breath? Yeah. Or breath in your lungs? I mean, but those are gifts that's given to us in abundance, and money cannot buy one single heartbeat. Think
Right.
about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing.
Money can't buy love.
Ooh, I know it. I tried that a lot and went broke. And I still wasn't loved. A lot of people, though, they feel that, love and gifts and physical things, money like that, can buy love, but it can't. It really can't. And Donna, we've talked about this before. This is very important because a lot of people suffer from this, and that is jealousy.
Ooh.
People who are jealous towards you, those people do not realize that jealousy is actually a form of hatred.
Right.
They hate you for what you've got, your gifts, your talents. Maybe it's your physical looks. Maybe it's your talent. Maybe you can sing. Maybe you can do certain things with your hands
Maybe
that
it's
they can't
just
do.
your being.
Yeah,
Right? It's just your being.
it's your calling. Yeah.
Right.
And because, I knew one guy, he had a real nice voice and all that. And he was jealous of other singers who were better than he was. Now think about that. We can relate to this, all of us can. There are some singers that you like, and let's just take country music for example, since Marty Haggard's a good friend of mine and Donna's. There are certain singers that you will like in country music. Some singers you'll like more, some singers you'll like less, some singers you won't like at all. That's
Right.
fine. Nothing wrong with that. And those singers out there, they shouldn't, because there's other people who will like their singing.
Right.
And the ones that you like the most, they may be maybe not even liked too much by others. It's really and I'm using it as an example, and that's probably a horrible example the way I explained it. But my point being is that if someone, is jealous of you because of your gift, forgive them, let them go, and don't be jealous of someone else's gift. Be a cheerleader for them
We all
because
have gifts.
because there's some things you can do that they can't do.
Right.
Think about that.
Right. There's many, many, many gifts that we have, many languages of love,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and we've talked about it before. One of my gifts is my gift of cooking and baking, and it's one of my love languages.
Mm.
I love to cook and I love to bake, and more than that is I love to see those I cook and bake for enjoy it.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
that's a gift not everybody has.
sure, sure. Can I ask you a question, Donna?
What time is dinner?
Yeah, when's dinner time? I'm usually, she's talking to me about bread and butter, making her honey. Now she's talking about, all these victuals she's going to fix up. And she says, I make it with hands of love because I love cooking and everybody around. She says, even the dog next door, 2 doors down, can smell my cooking and sit there in the living room and just drool.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah.
You're
Yeah, she'll
welcome.
send me a plate of food through the universe with love.
Right?
Yep.
Or a picture.
Oh, a
I'll
picture.
text
I'm
it
gonna
to
get a
you.
picture. All right,
Yeah,
all
I'll
right.
text it to you.
Can I put some Tabasco on that picture?
Well, you do what you want to your picture.
That's kind of like roll your own, right?
Right?
Oh goodness.
Oh my goodness. But seriously, jealousy is a that's a big waste of energy.
Oh,
That is a big waste of energy.
mm,
And
horrible.
does not fall well into the 7 levels of truth and
No.
your divine gifts. But it
Mm-mm.
will be a blocker.
Yeah,
It
it will
will be a
train wreck
blocker.
you down the pathway of life. It's going to blindside you and rob you of the true riches of life that is so rightfully yours. You have the right to be loved and to share love in abundance.
Mhm.
No one can tell you that you're not lovable.
Right.
Only the ignorant and undereducated and the person who has a polluted mind would say, you're not lovable.
Right.
Yes, you are. You're that special.
And if those are the people, again, the people who say those negative things, that's
Mm,
just a mirror, honestly, of unfortunately the torment they have going inside themselves.
yeah, you're exactly right, Donna. And when people voice negative things out to you, they're just releasing how they feel deep down inside because that's who
Right.
they are. It's
Right.
kind of like this is a good analogy. Thank you, brain. Every now and then I come up with a good one. It's kind of like if I go outside and I see a bird flying by and I fire a shot at it and the bullet misses the bird and the bird continues on. Is the bird hurt? Is a bird going to turn around and come back and call me everything but a good milk cow?
Well, it might come back and do something else, but
Yeah, right in the eye. But realistically, the bird just goes on their way. They could
right.
care less because they realize the harm that I intended for them was really not for them and it
Right.
went by. So when someone tries to harm you, the only way it's meant for you is when you accept it and you invite
When
it
you let
in.
it in,
There you go, girl.
when
There you
you own
go.
it, when you let it in, you own it,
Hmm.
and then it
Yeah,
becomes a part of you.
that's right. That's right. But when you let it go, say, I'm going to love this person. I'm going to forgive this person. And I'm going to feel sorry for this person because all they're doing is polluting their own spring of
Right.
life. They're shortchanging themselves.
They
And they're robbing themselves just as violently as a criminal that would break into their house with a gun and hold them up.
Right.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's just so many people fall prey to that.
Mhm. Absolutely. Well, we are at the end of our show, Jim.
I thought it was going
We're
to be positive all the way through here, Donna.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
positive we're at the end of our show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one, Donna. That's a good one. I got to give you a hand on that one there. Great
You're
comeback.
welcome.
Great comeback.
You're-
Yeah. Yeah.
But
She's
tomorrow,
going
I'm
to feel
excited,
real good. Oh,
right?
yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Tomorrow, I'm excited, folks. Jim is too. We have Bill Heinrich coming on, and he's going to be talking about this at his, however, as much as he wants to say or not say.
Oh, yeah.
That's
He's
up-
going to be talking at
that's
a
up-
higher level.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
there'll be note taking, and
Mhm.
we are excited to bring him on and have him go into this
Yeah.
maybe in ways that we can't.
Yeah, because Donna and I have already talked about, we're going to give Bill as much longitude and latitude as he needs here on the show.
Yeah.
Because you've heard us talk about it for, a week now. And we want you to hear
From the
Bill
master.
Heinrich, the master, yes. Because what he's going to share with you, you will feel the vibration that he gives.
Absolutely.
And you will know that you know that you know that you know Bill Heinrich's the real deal.
Yep.
He really is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tomorrow we have Bill, but for now, it is time to wrap it up and say goodbye.
I thought you were going to say for now, we got Jim.
You're silly.
Oh, we have a lot of fun. We really do. Because if you don't laugh at yourself, I feel sorry for you because you're probably like I am. You're a hilarious individual on the inside. But really, you need to laugh at yourself and you need to enjoy yourself and admit your faults. I mean, everybody knows that we goof up once in a while. If you watch the show regularly, you'll see me goof up a lot. But the main thing of it is we really love having the opportunity to bring good messages and give you some food for thinking.
Right. To be a servant to you.
Yes, yes, yes. And in closing, Donna and I, we sincerely hope and pray that you and your loved ones are healthy and happy in all areas of your life. And may you and your family and friends be blessed in all areas of your life. Thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. And we're very humble that you chose to watch us on TV.
Absolutely.
We'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Bill Heinrich.